Hello and welcome to Search Pulse. Today's story is about Bangalore's most controversial metro stretch right now, the Yellow Line between RV Road and Bomasandra, the lifeline for electronic city that's still struggling to match commuters' expectation. BEML has just received a fresh order for six more trains. CRRC Titagarh is crawling with deliveries. Commuters are blocking doors in protest, and in the background, K-Ride suburban rain is quietly taking shape, potentially changing the game for South Bengaluru and electronic city commuters. Stay till the end to see how metro delays, BMRCL's decisions, and the Karnataka government's larger rail strategy could completely redefine how Bengaluru moves. BMRCL has issued a new variation order worth about 414 crore to BEML for six additional driverless train sets dedicated to the Yellow Line on the top of already massive August 2023 base contract for 53 train sets covering the blue and pink lines. With BEML's total Namma metro supply climbs to 66 trains, that is 396 coaches, and the Yellow Line's add-on is the costliest variation so far at about 11.5 crore per coach, higher than previous orders due to escalations and upgraded specifications. These trains are stainless steel, fully air conditioned, and designed for CBTC driverless operation with IP based announcements, CCTV system, dynamic route maps, and PSD compatible doors. Essentially, metro ready for high frequency, high reliability service once there are enough rakes and signaling is stabilized. However, there is a catch. BEML is expected to prioritize pink and blue line trains first, meaning yellow line sets from this order are likely only after 2027. So, this is a medium term fix, not an immediate crowd relief measure. Originally, BMRCL has contracted CRRC to supply 36 train sets in 2019, including 15 for Yellow Line. But localization and manufacturing issues forced a tie up with Titagarh in India, resulting in significant slippages in timelines. As of now, only six Yellow Line trains from the CRRC Titagarh side have actually reached Bengaluru, underscoring why trains are so few on a corridor with massive latent demand from IT parks and residential neighborhoods. This shortage directly translates to sparse headways. There have been already been instances where all available train sets are on the line with no spare rakes. So one disruption cascades into delays across multiple trips. On at least one morning, angry commuters at RB Road reportedly blocked train doors for around half an hour, questioning why services start late and why trains are so infrequent, forcing BMRCL to short loop a train just to stabilize operations and later file a complaint under Metro Railway Act. From a commuter's point of view, the message is simple. You inaugurated the line, but you didn't give us enough trains. From an IT worker rushing from Bomasandra to RV Road, a 20 to 25-minute wait followed by a jam-packed 19-kilometer run doesn't feel like a metro. It feels like a slightly faster traffic jam. On social media and commuters forum, common complaints about Yellow Line include long gaps between trains, crowding at interchange stations like RV Road and Central Silk Board, late first services, and the feeling that the line was opened before being fully ready with rolling stock. There is also anxiety about reliability. Even minor glitches or passenger caused disruption can quickly balloon into long delays because there is no buffer rake, leaving hundreds of people stranded on platform during office hours. At the same time, many commuters acknowledge that even this limited yellow line has slashed travel time compared to earlier road commutes and the congested Hosur Road electronic city stretch, and are hopefully that more trains and integrated lines will gradually normalize frequencies. Interchange potential is huge. Once the pink line at Jaidava and the blue line at Central Silk Board open, yellow line will act as a core backbone linking Southeast Bengaluru IT hubs to the rest of the network, making the case for serious capacity upgrades even stronger. This contrasts day to day frustration versus long term optimism is what makes Yellow Line story so emotional. People can see how life changing a full fledged service could be, but they are stuck in a beta version for the line for now. From BMRCL's side, officials have reportedly pointed to rolling stock delays as the main constraint, emphasizing that all available trains are already deployed on the yellow line and that the backup units simply do not exist yet. The agency's decision to turn to BEML again, despite BEML's own challenges with equipment availability and type test for pink line prototypes, show a strategic move to reduce dependency on foreign suppliers and strengthen domestic manufacturing, even if that takes additional time. BMRCL's medium term plan appears to be a layered approach. Stabilize yellow line operations with the existing CRRC Titagarh trains, induct upcoming sets as they arrive, and in the long run, use BML rakes to bring headways closer to the high frequency standards expected in a busy IT corridor. The corporation also has to manage interfaces with multiple signaling vendors, Siemens for yellow line, Alstom for pink and blue line, which adds complexity in integration, testing, and maintenance planning across lines. The government of Karnataka has projected Namma Metro as a flagship urban transport solution, and the pressure is high to demonstrate progress not just in inaugurations but in day to day service quality, especially on politically sensitive corridors like Electronic City. By backing variation orders to BML and pushing parallel projects like the blue and pink lines, the state is signaling a long term commitment to rail based mobility, but also faces criticism for delays, coordination gaps, and perceived over reliance on last minute fixes instead of proactive capacity planning. The state government also has to balance metro investments with the Bengaluru suburban K Ride project, highway flyovers, and bus network improvements, making budget and priority decisions inherently political. Any slippage on one front, for example, suburban rail land acquisition or metro rolling stock procurement, quickly becomes a talking point in public debates, especially when Delhi commuters are visibly suffering. K-Ride's Bengaluru Suburban Rail project aims to create a heavy rail networking connecting key corridors like Helige, Ranjanakunte with proposals and decisions linking suburban rail nodes to the metro stations and major employment hubs. If executed well, the system can take over long distance commuters' load from peripheral areas into the city, while metro handles shorter urban distribution, together easing pressure on stretches like Hosur Road and the Yellow Line. For the Yellow Line specifically, suburban rail stations near Electronic City and Helge can act as an alternate entry exit point for IT commuters, offering them a choice between metro and suburban rail depending on origin and destination. However, current suburban rail progress is slow, with reports of low overall completion and ongoing issues such as tree cutting, land challenges, and flyover rail coordination work. Meaning, this relief is more of a long term horizon than an immediate fix for the yellow line crowding. Think of this way: if Namma Metro is the high frequency urban spine, K Ride is the longer reach muscle that pulls commuters from the outer rings into the city. If both are timed and integrated well, with common ticketing, easy interchanges, and synced timetables, the load on individual metro lines like Yellow can become manageable even at a high ridership. So, what's next for commuters? In the short term, yellow line riders may have to live with longer headways and occasional disruptions, while hoping that incoming CRRC Titagarh trains steadily increase frequencies, and reduce platform crowding. Medium term, from around 2027 onwards, BEML additional rakes for Yellow Line could finally allow BMRCL to run a service pattern that matches the true demand of the electronic city corridor, especially once pink and blue line interchange stations are fully operational. For policymakers, the key challenge are tightening contracts and accountability for suppliers, coordinating metro and suburban line expansion, and communicating transparently with the public so that the expectation match realistic timelines. For commuters, the most impactful lever in the near term may be strong citizen feedback, data driven coverage in media, and sustained pressure on agencies to stick to schedules, while also using diversions like BMTC, carpooling, and eventually suburban rail where available. So that's the current picture of Bengaluru's yellow line. More trains ordered, limited trains on ground, frustrated commuters, and a big suburban rail wildcard in the background. The choices BMRCL and the Karnataka government make over the next 2 to 3 years will decide whether this corridor becomes a global class IT metro spine or remain a daily struggle. If you travel on the yellow line or live on the corridor, share your experiences in the comment. Delays, crowding, or even positive changes if you have noticed anything. If you found this breakdown useful, hit the like, share it with fellow Mangaloreans, and subscribe to Surge Pulse for deeper data driven stories on India's transport and infrastructure. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.